forest after weeks of rising tension and attacks along the busy Okane to Lokoja Road. What they met there is nothing small. Reports from the ground show that armed men suspected to be behind recent kidnappings tried to hide inside the forest, but this time, hunters who know every bush path were ready for them. The clash that followed left the attackers scattered, with some of their hideouts destroyed, and this is why the news everywhere says hunters stormed the forest and wiped out dangerous camps. My people, this is serious, and we must break it down slowly so you can understand all angles. Before I continue, please remember to like this video right now and subscribe if you are just joining. Your support helps us bring more real updates. Don't just watch and pass. Hit that like button and drop your comments. I want to hear your thoughts. Now, let's talk about the background. For months now, travelers in Kogi have been living in fear. Many buses have been stopped, passengers taken away, sometimes even during the day. These criminals wear camouflage to deceive people, pretending to be security men, but they are not. This has caused families pain, as mothers, fathers, and children have been separated. But the local hunters and vigilante service, together with the military, said enough is enough. They went into the bush, they used their knowledge of the land, and they confronted the criminals. Reports say victims were rescued, and some leaders of the criminal groups were taken down during these operations. If you are still watching me, please stop now and like this video. Also subscribe, because the more you support us, the more we bring you this kind of truth that others may not tell you. Think about it. Hunters are not soldiers, but they know the land better than anyone. These are the people who grew up tracking animals, moving silently in the bush, and they turned that same skill into protecting their communities. Without their bravery, many of these kidnappers would still be hiding, planning more attacks. And it's not just one event. We've been seeing a series of actions. Some weeks ago in Kaba and Bunu, hunters also rescued kidnapped people and stopped some of the attackers. Then in other parts of Kogi, the army carried out strikes inside the forests, freeing those who had been held captive. Every time the criminals run deeper into the forest, the hunters follow them. Every time they try to regroup, security forces move in. But we must understand this is not yet the end. Please, again, like this video and subscribe now, because I want you to stay with me to the end. What I am telling you affects every Nigerian who may travel that road tomorrow. Now, let's go deeper. Why are these attacks happening in Kogi forests? The answer is three things. First, the land is covered with thick bush and long stretches of roads that do not have constant security patrols. That means criminals can hide and strike at night or early morning. Second, security presence is not always strong in every area, so when there is a gap, criminals use that gap to move in. Third, money. Kidnapping has become a source of income for these groups. They hold people, ask families to bring money, and that keeps the cycle going. That is why these hunters going into the forest is so important. They are breaking the hiding places and destroying the camps, making it harder for the attackers to continue. Friends, let me pause here. Please like this video now and subscribe, because we need your support to spread awareness so more people can be careful and stay safe. So now, picture this with me. A big bus, carrying traders and travelers moving along the Lokoja Okane Road. Everyone inside thinking about where they are going, some going to the market, some returning home, some visiting family. Suddenly, from the bush, armed men jump out. They wear camouflage, looking like soldiers, but they are not. They shoot into the air, they force the bus to stop, and in that confusion, they pull people out. This is the kind of pain many people in Kogi have faced. But this time, hunters nearby heard the commotion. They alerted the local vigilante service and they rushed in. A fight broke out right there, on the road and inside the forest. In the end, some passengers were freed, but sadly, one person lost their life in the attack. Viewers, these are real human beings, people like you and me who were just on a normal journey. This is why security stories must be taken seriously. Please stop now, like this video, and subscribe so we can keep updating you with the truth. Now, let's talk about the hunters themselves. These are not ordinary people. They are men who grew up inside those forests. They can track footsteps, they can read broken leaves, they can tell when somebody passed through a path even hours ago. In the past, they used these skills for hunting animals, but now they are using them to hunt down criminals. And let me tell you, without them, many of these kidnappers would remain hidden forever. In Kaba some time ago, hunters entered the bush, freed victims, and brought them back alive. In another part of Kogi, when kidnappers attacked a village, hunters went in first before the army even arrived. The bravery of these hunters has become a big story across the state. Viewers, do me one favor, like this video now and subscribe because we must appreciate and encourage the work of these local heroes. But the hunters are not working alone. The Nigerian army is also on ground. In one operation, soldiers stormed a hideout and confronted a known leader of these armed groups. Reports said the leader and some of his men were taken down in the fight, and several people who had been held hostage were freed. The victims, some of them children, walked out of the forest alive because of that operation. Can you imagine the relief of those families when they saw their loved ones again? This is why, even though the situation is dangerous, there is still hope. As you watch this, remember to like the video and subscribe, because we will continue bringing you more positive news as security forces make progress. Let's not forget the families of those kidnapped. Imagine a mother waiting at home for her son who went to the market, and suddenly she gets a phone call that he has been taken. Imagine the father who is told he must pay huge amounts of money before his daughter can come back. That is the reality that many people face, and it is painful. Some people have sold land. Some have borrowed from friends just to bring their loved ones back. This is why when you hear hunters storming the forest and rescuing victims, you know it means more than just numbers. It means families are reunited. And viewers, if you are feeling this story deeply, show your support by liking this video now and subscribing. Your one click can help more people hear what is happening and stay aware. But I must also tell you the truth. The fight is not yet over. These groups do not just disappear in one day. When hunters raid one camp, the criminals sometimes move to another bush. When the army clears one forest, they regroup somewhere else. That is why continuous action is needed, day after day, week after week. If we relax, they will come back stronger. But if hunters, vigilantes, and the army keep working together, they can weaken these groups until they cannot rise again. And while we are talking, I want you to please like and subscribe. Yes, do it now, because the more this channel grows, the more we can keep giving you updates that are clear, simple, and true. Now, let us look at why Kogi has become so important in this whole matter. Kogi is right in the center of Nigeria. If you are traveling from the north to the south or from the east to the west, there is a big chance you will pass through Kogi. That is why many criminals choose those forests along major roads. They know travelers must pass. This is why these attacks shake the whole country, not just Kogi people. But the good news is that the state government is not just watching. They have been giving support to hunters and vigilante groups, providing equipment, uniforms, even insurance promises, so they can go into dangerous zones without fear. This shows the seriousness of the fight. Friends watching, this is the moment for you to please like this video now and subscribe, because we must spread this awareness far and wide. Think about the bravery it takes to go into those forests. These are not small bushes. We are talking about deep forests with thick trees, dark corners, and many hidden camps. Hunters leave their families at home, knowing they might not return. Some have even lost their lives in this fight. Yet they still go because they know if they don't, innocent people will continue to suffer. Viewers, let us appreciate them right now. Like this video, subscribe, and drop a comment thanking these local heroes, because sometimes a word of encouragement means a lot. But there is another side to this story. While hunters and soldiers are fighting hard, the criminals are also adapting. They move in smaller groups, they use motorcycles to escape quickly, and they hide weapons inside the bush. Sometimes they even pretend to be ordinary travelers until the right moment. This is why intelligence information from the people is very important. If villagers see strange movement, if they see people they don't recognize hiding in the bush, they must report quickly. In fact, in one of the latest cases, it was local information that helped security men know where the kidnappers were holding victims. Now, let's look at the communities themselves. Villages near this forest have lived in fear for years. People are cautious about traveling at night. Some farmers cannot go to their farms early in the morning because of the risk. Some children are afraid to go to school alone. But the recent operations by hunters and security forces have brought hope. People are starting to feel safer. Families who once locked their doors all day can now step out to trade or travel, knowing that brave men are patrolling the forests. Friends, if you feel this hope, like this video now, subscribe, and share with others so everyone knows that safety is possible when people act together. Travelers, listen carefully. If you have plans to go through Kogi or nearby states, plan your journey carefully. Travel during the day. Use main roads with regular security presence. Avoid isolated bush tracks. Always let family or friends know your route. This is not just advice, it can save lives. In fact, many of the people who were rescued were alive because someone reported unusual movement or suspicious men in the bush. That is why community awareness is as important as bravery in the forests. Please, while you are watching, like this video, subscribe and comment below if you have tips for safe travel. Let's help each other. Let's now talk about the criminals themselves. They are very organized. They move in groups, they know the terrain, and they often hide in remote parts of the forest. They sometimes pretend to be travelers. They use motorcycles to escape quickly, and they plan their attacks carefully. But the hunters and army are not backing down. Every camp that is destroyed, every leader that is removed, every victim rescued, it weakens them. It shows that these criminals cannot hide forever. Viewers, if you want to support this fight against crime, like this video now, subscribe, and share it with your family and friends. The more people know, the safer we all are. Think about the courage it takes to face these men. Hunters leave their homes and families. They face armed criminals in dense forests. Some of them risk their lives every day. Soldiers also move into these dangerous areas, facing traps, hidden weapons, and ambushes. Every successful rescue is not just a news story. It is a life saved. It is a mother reunited with her child. It is a father seeing his son again. It is a community restored. Friends, if you agree that courage deserves recognition, like this video, subscribe and comment to show your support for these heroes. And now, let's talk about the bigger picture. This is not just Kogi. The fight against kidnappers and criminals is happening all across Nigeria. Forests and highways in many states have seen similar attacks. But Kogi is special because hunters there are so skilled, and the state government is actively supporting them. These operations show that when communities, hunters, and security forces work together, they can make a real difference. And this is a message of hope for the whole country. Viewers, if you want to spread this hope, please like, subscribe, and share this video with everyone you know. Knowledge is protection. We also must remember the importance of peace. Reports describe the attackers as suspected Fulani bandits, but we must be careful. Not all Fulani are criminals. Millions are hardworking, honest, and peaceful. We focus on the criminals, not the community. This is very important because blame and hate can make the problem worse. We want safety, not division. So please, like this video, subscribe, and